Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show on this Tuesday, the 18th of May, 2021. Glad to have you guys here. You know, in 2013, I found out that silver is the chief cornerstone of the world. Silver and gold, actually, the two of them. They run together. But it's the chief cornerstone of the world's financial system. I found that out in 2013. And it still is. You know, yeah, we might have all this Bitcoin and all this tech stocks and everything else. But no, the chief cornerstone of the world's financial system is gold and silver. And still is. It's like, it's the foundation behind the whole thing. And of those two, silver is like, well, anyway, the best way to describe it to you guys right now is it's like a dam that's ready to break. Silver can break the world's financial system. And so these market riggers out there who've been rigging the price of silver, you know, perhaps they've been saving the world's financial system from something happening, something very sinister, something very huge. And that would be a kind of like a trigger reaction or a domino effect that could happen if silver were to completely break free and we were to have a huge shortage of silver because everybody rushes into it and tries to allocate it, and the price goes up massively high. See, silver and gold are different animals, totally different. Silver's used in industrial applications, and we use it up. Gold, not so much. You know, maybe they make a little bit of jewelry out of it and stuff, but an awful lot of it gets smelted into big bars and put away in vaults. And that means that there's a lot of gold behind the scenes. It's being stored in big vaults and places where you can't see it, but it's around the world being stored as a measure of value to like take Fort Knox, for instance, in the United States. That's here. But, you know, over in China, they got as much as 22,000 tons of it stored away in these 1 kilogram sized bars that they smelt it into. And what about Russia? Russia's got tons and tons and tons and tons too. And, you know, there's a lot of gold being stored away. But silver? No. We used to store silver away. The United States used to keep a silver hoard. You know, but not anymore. No. So it's vital. It's vital for industry. Can't make a cell phone without it. How are we going to communicate? Can't make a computer without it. Can't make any electronics without it. This is the electronic age. You know? So many things you can't make without it. So it's vital for industry. But the world is not awash with silver like people think it is. If you were to take all the gold that's stored away, here, there, and everywhere, there's a lot more gold on Earth than there is silver. So how come the price is so much in gold's favor? So these market riggers out there, they might actually be protecting the system. As strange as that is to think, from a domino effect that could occur, that could take the world's financial system down. And so, you know, the Fed has just been holding the world together by printing money. But what do? You know, if there's a mad rush, people out there in the world, inflation starts to run away really fast, and people want to hedge, and they start to move their money and allocate into real things. Not necessarily has to be silver, but things that they either is real or they perceive as being real. Even cryptocurrency, you know? And all of the money starts to rush out. Well, if they print more, it's just going to rush out into these hard tangible assets as well, you know? And printing's not the answer. If the system starts to fold down on itself, no matter how much they print, they're just going to increase the speed of the fall. So what if they go in the opposite direction? What if they decide to, instead of printing, if they decide to take their cards off the table and stop printing altogether and completely tighten to try to stop the wreckage or the carnage from happening if silver tips over the edge, and gold tips over the edge and the price goes too high, which means a failing fiat currency. Well, if they try to tighten to bring things back under control, that's just going to destroy the system too. And so, as hard as it is for us to think about these riggers that rigged the price of silver, and I think they were up to it today, and I don't think they're being very successful anymore. I think they're losing their ability to knock the price down. Knock it down just a little bit, and then it bounces right back in their face again. So we're in a precarious position right here with all this. Let's get the charts started. Let's start the charts right here and take a look at what's going on. Well, here's silver, and they did a little smackdown today. You can see they weren't very successful, because it's bouncing back already, and it hasn't even dropped below $28. And so it's not like it used to be, when they'd smack it down and it would go that way down and it would stay down. It's not like that anymore. It's getting harder and harder for them because people see the inflation. Okay, let's move on. Let's take a look at cryptocurrencies. Something I want to tell you guys about cryptocurrency. About maybe 3 or 4 years ago, it was quite a while ago anyway, I heard about this new technology in cryptocurrency called hash graph technology. And I heard about it, and it's one of those things where you put it in the back of your mind and you say, hey, and why I was interested in it is, when I first heard about it about 3 or 4 years ago, the new technology, it was so much more efficient than Bitcoin. Night and day. It was as big a leap in that type of technology as Bitcoin was originally when it was released. Hash graph. And so I said to myself, I'd like to have a few of those hash graph type coins, that run on hash graph, rather than running on the old SHA 256 network and blockchain technology. I'd like to have some hash graph technology. About 3 years ago, I said that to myself, But there's no coins available that had hash graph. And so I sat there and I watched the markets for the longest time, and I kind of forgot about hash graph, All of a sudden, yesterday, one of my viewers came on and he said, hey, the next big thing is going to be, and he seen the word hash graph in his thing. And immediately, as soon as I seen that word hash graph, I remembered, what was going on about 3 years ago and how I was looking for a hash graph coin and everything. So it really rung a bell. Bing, 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 bing. I went and checked it out. Well, yeah, there's a hash graph coin now, out there. And that technology, hash graph technology, is light years ahead of anything. It's ahead of Ethereum. It's ahead of all of them. It's way ahead of Bitcoin. It's way ahead of all these top coins. It's like 250 times ahead of them for the amount of the cheapness of sending a transaction across the internet, for speed, everything. It's just like, picture Bitcoin as a horse and buggy, okay? And picture Ethereum like a car from the 1940s or something, an Edsel or something like that, right? Hashgraph is a Maserati, it's a Lamborghini. It can blow it all the rest of the way. It's capable, I think, when they fully get the network established or whatever, Hashgraph is actually capable like 250,000 transactions a second. Bitcoin is 7 transactions a second. You see the difference? And the cost. Hashgraph doesn't actually work on a blockchain type technology. It works on some, I don't know exactly how the technology works, but it's massive. It's so fast and good and everything anyway. But, there is a Hashgraph coin on there now. And it wasn't on my radar until yesterday. It kind of snuck in there, and I didn't see it coming, Anyway, today the market of these coins is over $2 billion, $2 trillion, 2.2, I guess, just slightly over $2 trillion, and we're looking at a Bitcoin price of 43,501. And of course, when Bitcoin goes down, they all go down, including the Hashgraph coin, which is way down here on the list. It's way down. It's way down. It's like in 50 something. There it is, right there. Hedera Hashgraph. It's way down on the list. It's like, what is it, 56, I guess? But it's got the new high-tech technology. And, technology is innovation. And cryptocurrencies are a massive innovation in themselves over what we have had, Dow Jones Industrial Average today is down 73 points on the day. It's 34,256. Take a looking at oil. Oil's at 65.97. It's down slightly, 30 cents down today. Move index today. It's starting to bounce up a little bit. Move index, just a little bit. 58.59 today. Bouncing up is not good. Up is not good on the move index. It means stability. As long as the index is low, the move index, we have stability in the credit markets. If this goes too high, over 75, we start to enter into instability in the credit markets. Bonds and rates today. We're looking at the long end of the yield curve rising just marginally, 1 basis point on the U.S. 30-year. 20% of 1 basis point, just two ticks on the 10-year. 10 years at 1.64 and the US 30 years at 2.36. And finally now looking at the dollar. The dollar is at 89.82 today, and it's finally dropped below 90. 89.82 and dropping on the US dollar index. There's big things that determine the markets. One is this dollar index is huge. Bonds. Bonds is huge. And these are two of the big things that I watch, along with other things. There's a lot of other things. There's a lot of other factors that come together, Thank you guys for listening to my show. Like and subscribe. And we'll catch you guys in the very next episode. Bye-bye.